Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my other socials for more. Enjoy. The glint caught his eye as he trudged through the autumn leaves carpeting the park path. Something metallic peeked out from beneath the orange and red foliage. Curiosity piqued, he stooped down to investigate, brushing aside the leaves to reveal an ornate silver medallion. Intricate swirling patterns adorned its surface, surrounding a central opal that seemed to shimmer with an inner light. Wonder who lost this, he muttered, picking up the heavy pendant. It felt strangely warm in his palm, despite the chilly air. He turned it over, searching for any identifying marks or inscriptions, but found nothing to indicate its owner. After a moment's hesitation, he slipped the chain over his head. The medallion settled against his chest with a peculiar weight. A tingling sensation spread across his skin, but he dismissed it as simply a reaction to the cold metal. Shrugging, he continued his walk through the park, admiring the vibrant fall colors. The tingling intensified with each step, spreading from his chest throughout his body. His brow furrowed as an odd lightheadedness swept over him. Swaying slightly, he grasped a nearby tree trunk to steady himself. "What the hell?" he gasped, his voice coming out higher than normal. He blinked rapidly, trying to clear the dizziness. When his vision refocused, he found himself staring at delicate hands with slender fingers and pastel pink nails. Heart racing, he looked down at his body. Where his broad chest had been moments before, two soft mounds now pressed against his sweater. His entire frame had shrunk and curved into an hourglass shape. Long chestnut hair spilled over his shoulders. "This can't be happening," he whispered, voice unmistakably feminine. Trembling fingers traced the contours of her new face. Smooth skin, high cheekbones, full lips. A jogger passed by, giving him a concerned look. "You okay, miss? You look a little pale." He nodded mutely, not trusting his new voice. As the jogger continued on, he stumbled to a nearby bench and collapsed onto it. His mind reeled, trying to make sense of the impossible transformation. The medallion. It had to be the cause. He grasped it, intending to yank it off, but hissed in pain as it seemed to burn his fingers. The opal pulsed with an eerie glow. "Okay, don't panic," he told himself, taking deep breaths. "There's got to be a way to change back." He closed his eyes, willing his body to return to normal. Nothing happened. After several fruitless attempts, he slumped in defeat. What was he going to do? How could he possibly explain this to his wife? To his co-workers? His entire life had just been turned upside down in the span of moments. With shaking hands, he pulled out his phone. He needed help, and there was only one person he could turn to. Praying she would believe him, he dialed his wife's number. "Hey, honey, what's up?" came her familiar voice. "Emma, I need you to come to Oakwood Park right away," he said, wincing at his high-pitched tone. Something's happened. I can't explain over the phone. Please just hurry. Are you okay? You sound strange. Should I call an ambulance? No ambulance, just you. Please, Emma, I need you." There was a pause before she replied. "All right, I'm on my way. Stay where you are." The wait felt interminable. He paced anxiously, hyper-aware of his altered body. Every movement felt foreign, from the sway of his hips to the bouncing of his chest. Passers-by gave him odd looks, no doubt noticing his agitation. Finally, he spotted Emma's red sedan pulling into the parking lot. She climbed out, scanning the area with a worried expression. He waved, then immediately regretted it as her eyes widened in confusion. Emma approached cautiously. "Excuse me, do I know you? I'm looking for my husband." "Emma, it's me," he said, voice cracking. "I know this is impossible to believe, but I'm David. Something happened. This medallion, it changed me somehow." She took a step back, shock and disbelief warring on her face. "What? No, you can't be... Please, Em, remember our first date? You wore that green dress with the little white flowers. We went to Antonio's and I spilled red wine all over the tablecloth. You laughed and said it was a good thing you hadn't worn white." Emma's eyes widened. "David, but how..." She reached out hesitantly, touching his face. "Oh my God, it really is you. Your eyes, they're the same. But how is this possible?" He explained about finding the medallion, showing it to her. Emma listened with growing amazement and concern. "We need to get you home," she said finally. "Come on, let's figure this out somewhere more private." The drive home was surreal. David caught Emma stealing glances at him, her expression a mix of fascination and worry. He hugged himself, acutely aware of his changed body. Once inside their apartment, Emma sat him down on the couch. "Okay, start from the beginning. Tell me everything." David recounted the events in the park, his voice still jarring to his own ears. Emma listened intently, asking occasional questions. When he finished, she sat back with a heavy sigh. "This is a lot to process," she said. "Have you tried taking off the medallion?" "It won't budge," David replied, tugging at the chain. "It's like it's fused to my skin or something." Emma leaned in to examine it. "The craftsmanship is incredible. I've never seen anything like it. Maybe we should take it to a jeweler or an antiques expert." David shook his head. "And say what? Hey, this magic necklace turned my husband into a woman. Any idea how to reverse it? They'd think we're crazy." "Fair point," Emma conceded. "Well, we need to do something. You can't exactly go to work like this tomorrow." The thought hadn't even occurred to him. "Oh, God, you're right. What am I going to do? I can't lose my job over this." Emma squeezed his hand reassuringly. "We'll figure it out. For now, let's focus on immediate needs. You'll need some clothes that actually fit, for one thing." David looked down at his ill-fitting attire. His jeans were comically baggy now, cinched tight with a belt. His sweater hung loosely on his smaller frame. "I guess you're right," he sighed. "This is so weird." "I know, honey," Emma said softly. "But we're in this together, okay? Whatever happens, we'll face it as a team." David felt a rush of gratitude for his wife's support. He leaned in, intending to kiss her, then hesitated. "Is this okay?" Emma cupped his face gently. "You're still you, David. Different package, same person I love." The next few hours were a whirlwind of activity. Emma helped David find some of her clothes that would fit his new body. It was a strange experience, to say the least. "How do you deal with these things?" David grumbled, adjusting his bra straps for the 100th time. Emma laughed. "You get used to it. Though I have to say you fill that out better than I do. I'm a little jealous." David blushed, still not used to his heightened emotional responses. "This is so surreal. I keep expecting to wake up and find out it was all a dream." "I know what you mean," Emma replied, helping him clasp a necklace. "But dream or not, we need a game plan. What do you want to do about work?" David ran a hand through his long hair, marveling at its silky texture. "I don't know. I can't exactly show up like this. Maybe I should call in sick for a few days, see if we can figure out how to reverse this." Emma nodded. "Probably for the best. We can use the time to research that medallion, see if we can find any information about its origins." They spent the evening scouring the internet for any leads. David called in sick to work, citing a nasty flu. As night fell, a new awkwardness settled over them. "So, sleeping arrangements?" David asked hesitantly. Emma gave him a reassuring smile. "You're still my spouse, David. Unless you're uncomfortable, I'd like you to sleep in our bed." Relief washed over him. "Thanks, Em. I don't know what I'd do without you." As they lay in bed that night, David marveled at how different everything felt. His smaller body fit perfectly in the curve of Emma's arms. It was strange being the little spoon, but not unpleasant. "We'll get through this," Emma murmured, "whatever it takes." The next few days passed in a blur of research and adjustment. They found maddeningly little information about the medallion online. David struggled to adapt to his new body, constantly bumping into things and misjudging distances. "How do you make it look so effortless?" he complained to Emma after nearly tripping over his own feet for the umpteenth time. She laughed. "Years of practice, honey. You'll get there." As the days stretched into a week, then 2, with no progress on changing him back, reality began to set in. David's boss was getting impatient with his prolonged absence. They needed to make some decisions.
I think I need to face facts,
David said one evening. This might be permanent. I can't hide away forever. Emma nodded solemnly. I've been thinking the same thing. What do you want to do? David took a deep breath.
I guess I need to come clean to work. Explain the situation as best I can and hope they don't fire me on the spot.
Do you want me to come with you? Emma offered. Would you? I could use the moral support. The meeting with David's boss went better than expected, though not without its awkward moments. Mr. Johnson listened with growing astonishment as David explained his transformation, with Emma providing corroboration. I'm not sure what to say, Mr. Johnson said finally.
This is unprecedented, to say the least. I'll need to consult with HR and legal, figure out how to handle this. I understand, David replied. I just hope I can keep my job. I'm still the same person, still capable of doing the work. Mr.
Johnson nodded thoughtfully.
Let me make some calls. We'll set up a meeting to discuss the logistics. In the meantime, continue working from home if you can.
As they left the office, David let out a shaky breath.
Well, that could have gone worse.
Emma squeezed his hand. You did great, honey. One step at a time, right? The next hurdle was telling their families. David's parents were understandably shocked, but rallied quickly to support their child. Emma's family took a bit longer to come around, but eventually accepted the strange new reality. Slowly but surely, David began to adapt to his new life. He legally changed his name to Danielle, though Emma still called him David in private. Work accommodated his transformation, allowing him to continue his role with minimal disruption. There were challenges, of course. David had to navigate a whole new world of social expectations and interactions as a woman. He faced discrimination and unwanted attention, but he also discovered new strengths and perspectives he'd never known before. Emma stood by him through it all, their love growing stronger in the face of adversity. They even began to find humor in the situation. You know, Emma teased one day, I always said I wished you could understand what it's like to be a woman. Be careful what you wish for, I guess. David laughed, swatting her playfully. Yeah. Just remember, I've got all your secrets now. I know the truth about how long it really takes to get ready in the morning. As months passed, the medallion's magic showed no signs of wearing off. David accepted that this was his new reality. He embraced his identity as Danielle, while holding on to the core of who he had always been. One day, almost exactly a year after his transformation, David and Emma returned to Oakwood Park. They strolled hand in hand down the leaf-strewn path where it had all begun. Do you ever regret it? Emma asked softly. Picking up that medallion. David considered the question carefully.
It's been challenging, no doubt about that, but no, I don't regret it. This experience has taught me so much about myself and the world, and it's shown me just how amazing you are, standing by me through all of this.
Emma smiled, leaning in to kiss him. I love you, David. Man or woman, you're the person I want to spend my life with. As they continued their walk, David fingered the medallion that still hung around his neck. Its opal gleamed in the autumn sunlight, a reminder of the strange twist of fate that had changed his life forever. Whatever the future held, he knew he could face it with Emma by his side. The years rolled by, each bringing new challenges and joys. David, now firmly established as Danielle both legally and socially, continued to thrive in his career. The initial shock and novelty of his transformation faded, replaced by a new normal. Emma's unwavering support never faltered. Their relationship evolved, deepening in ways neither had anticipated. They discovered new facets of intimacy and understanding, their bond stronger for having weathered such an extraordinary change together. There were difficult moments, of course. David sometimes struggled with dysphoria. mourning the loss of his male body and the ease with which he had moved through the world as a man. But he also came to appreciate aspects of his new form and the unique perspectives it afforded him. 5 years after the transformation, they decided to start a family. The process was more complicated than they had originally envisioned, but modern medical technology provided options. Emma carried their first child, a daughter they named Olivia. Parenthood brought its own set of challenges and revelations. David found himself navigating the complex terrain of motherhood, a role he had never imagined inhabiting. He drew on his experiences from both sides of the gender divide, striving to raise Olivia with a broad, inclusive worldview. As Olivia grew, so did the questions about her unusual family situation. David and Emma were always honest with her, explaining in age-appropriate ways how her daddy had become her mama. Olivia accepted it with the matter-of-fact resilience of childhood, proud to have a family that was special. The medallion remained a constant presence in their lives, its origins still a mystery. Over the years, they had consulted numerous experts, historians, anthropologists, even a few discreet practitioners of esoteric arts. None could provide concrete answers about its power or provenance. On the 10th anniversary of his transformation, David stood before the mirror, studying his reflection. The face looking back at him was familiar now, the soft curves and delicate features no longer a shock. He touched the medallion, its warmth a steady presence against his skin. "Any regrets?" Emma asked, coming up behind him and wrapping her arms around his waist. David smiled, meeting her eyes in the mirror.
Only that I didn't find it sooner. Think of all the time I wasted not appreciating how much work you put into looking this good."
Emma laughed, swatting him playfully. "Cheeky. Come on, we'll be late for dinner." They had plans to meet friends at a new restaurant downtown. As they drove, David marveled at how ordinary it all felt now. The initial stares and whispers when he first transitioned had long since faded. He was just another woman out for the evening with her wife. Over dinner, surrounded by the warmth of good food and better company, David felt a profound sense of contentment. His life had taken an unimaginable turn, yet here he was, happy and fulfilled in ways he never could have predicted. Later that night, as they lay in bed, Emma propped herself up on one elbow. "Hey, I've been thinking, what if we tried to find another medallion? One that could change me too?" David blinked in surprise. "You'd want that? To become a man?" Emma shrugged. "Maybe. Or maybe just to experience what you went through. To understand it fully, and who knows, maybe switching back and forth could be fun." The idea was intriguing, David had to admit. "It's not exactly something you can order on Amazon," he pointed out.
"But if that's really what you want, we could try to track one down."
They spent the next few months researching in earnest, following every lead, no matter how tenuous. Their search took them to dusty antique shops, mysterious online forums, and even a few questionable back-alley dealers. Just when they were about to give up, a breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Olivia, now 7 and endlessly curious, had been asking more questions about the medallion lately. One day, she came home from school bursting with excitement. Mama, I found another one!" David's heart raced as Olivia pulled a familiar-looking pendant from her backpack. The opal at its center seemed to pulse with the same inner light as his own. "Honey, where did you get this?" he asked, carefully taking the medallion. "From the wishing fountain at the mall," Olivia explained. "I saw it in the water and fished it out. Is it magic like yours?" David and Emma exchanged meaningful looks. "It might be, sweetheart," Emma said. "This is a very special find. Thank you for bringing it to us." That night, after Olivia was asleep, they examined the new medallion closely. It was nearly identical to David's, with only slight variations in the intricate patterns adorning its surface. "So," David said softly, "do you want to try it?" Emma took a deep breath, weighing the medallion in her hand. "I do, but I'm nervous. What if it doesn't work the same way? What if I can't change back? David pulled her close.
Whatever happens, we'll face it together, just like we did when it happened to me.
With trembling fingers, Emma fastened the chain around her neck. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then slowly, a familiar tingling sensation began to spread across her skin. David watched in awe as his wife's body began to shift and change before his eyes. Her frame broadened, muscles swelling beneath her skin. Her face became more angular, jaw squaring off. Within minutes, a handsome man stood where Emma had been.
"Oh, wow!"
Emma gasped, her voice now a deep baritone. "This is incredible." They spent the next few hours exploring Emma's new form, marveling at the changes. When morning came, they faced a new challenge, explaining to Olivia why she now had 2 daddies. To their relief, Olivia took it in stride. "Does this mean I can try the necklace too?" she asked eagerly.
"Not until you're much older,"
David and Emma said in unison, then laughed at their parental synchronicity. As the days passed, Emma adapted to her male body with the same determination she'd shown in supporting David's transformation. They discovered they could remove the medallions for short periods, allowing them to switch back and forth between forms. This new dynamic added an exciting dimension to their relationship. They took turns experiencing life from different perspectives, gaining profound insights into each other's experiences. Their unique situation drew attention from researchers and medical professionals eager to study the medallion's effects. David and Emma agreed to participate in some studies, hoping their experience might someday help others struggling with gender identity issues. Years passed and their family grew. They adopted another child, a son named Ethan, wanting to give Olivia a sibling. Their home was filled with love, laughter, and the occasional chaos of gender-swapping parents. As Olivia and Ethan entered their teenage years, David and Emma faced new challenges in explaining their unusual family dynamic. But they approached each hurdle with honesty, humor, and unwavering support for each other. On their 25th wedding anniversary, David and Emma returned once more to Oakwood Park. They stood hand in hand on the spot where David had first discovered the medallion that changed their lives.
"Would you do it all again?"
Emma asked, her currently male form towering over David's female one. David smiled, reaching up to caress Emma's cheek.
In a heartbeat, every challenge, every moment of doubt or fear, it was all worth it to share this journey with you.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other socials if you want more wonderful content, early access, behind the scenes, and more. All links down below.